Past couple of years, and so it will be again.
The weight for age stars hold sway. First it was Rubiton, who'd won the Futurity as an autumn 3-year-old, before being galloped on in Sydney. Now the injury came very close to ending his career, but this is how he came back.
Rubiton with a dash, then Society Bay, Lockley's Tradition. Everready's dropping out of it. On the corner, Rubiton went to the lead out wide from Special. Wider, Dazzling Duke. Broadreach is struggling. Everready's going backwards on the corner. Into the straight now, and Rubiton shot about 3 lengths in front of Dazzling Duke, followed by Special, Broadreach, then Princely Heart wide, but this is walked in Rubiton. It's 4 or 5 in front. It's going to win by 5 lengths. Dazzling Duke second. Caledonian Boy running on with Princely Heart, battle for third. Maybe Caledonian Boy third, and Ozen Dixon second.
Bozam represented only a part of Bart Cummings' assault on the classics. His stablemates, Sky Chase and Omnicore, both returned in the early spring looking bigger and stronger than ever. Bart's trio had all resumed in the San Domenico Stakes at Warwick Farm. Bozam found the 1,000 metres too short, but the other pair provided some fireworks with Omnicore the victor. The up-and-coming stakes at Warwick Farm then lived right up to its name.
Sky Chase is going after him, and then Dream Faith on the fence. I'm a bouncer, but Christmas Tree and Sky Chase have come away. They're going to fight it out. Sky Chase takes the lead now. Sky Chase headed off Christmas Tree, who's running out of condition, and it's all Sky Chase. Oh, he looks good going to the line, this big bold strider, and Sky Chase came away to beat Christmas Tree.
After that, Sky Chase went into the Peter Pan Stakes. In past years, the Peter Pan had been a splendid classics pointer, but a very heavy track saw the Group 2 race for 3-year-olds have its distance reduced from 1,500 to 1,350 metres after the meeting was underway.
General in front, going strongly, approaching the 200 mark. Lentigo in second place, can't get to him at the moment. Sky Chase on the outside, not doing enough. Roman General clear below the 200 mark from Sky Chase, getting into second place. Roman General in front, going strongly, 100 out. Sky Chase can't make any headway, and here is a dead set Mudlark. He's got an outboard motor, Roman General, and he raced away to win the Peter Pan by 6 or 7 lengths.
Star also demonstrated how well he'd come back.
Military Plume is trailing Our Waverley Star, and Dinky Flyer to the outside from Royal Scepter in the straight. And a great battle, All Spades now tackled by Latin Rule. Celtic Air still there from Our Avon's Gold. Then joined race trying to get out. Our Waverley Star's coming at them now, and Military Plume's following it. Fair Sir's not in the race. It's All Spades tackled by Our Waverley Star, and Military Plume going better than them all. Military Plume to the outside has swept to the lead with Our Waverley Star, and Military Plume striding away. What a good horse he is. Military Plume's won it by nearly 2 lengths to Our Waverley Star.
Die was cast for the horse who was to dominate weight for age racing during that memorable spring.
And our whole mission was to get the horse to relax, which we never ever really did on the track. He was always too uptight here. And I knew the Memsie Stakes was the turning point, really. There was no speed on. There was about 7 runners. Society Bay led in the field and went very slow. It took them 1:28 to run the 1,400 metres that day. Society Bay then ran the last 3 furlongs of that race, sprinted in 34 seconds. He had to be a champion to beat her, and he did.
And the sprint's on in the straight, 350 out, and he's got a break on the leader, Society Bay. 2 or 3 in front of Rubiton, and Broadreach, and they're clear then of Cossack Warrior. Society Bay the leader. Now Rubiton is knuckling down to the task. Society Bay in front with 100 to go. Rubiton got on terms, took the lead, and he's too good, Rubiton. He's coming away from Society Bay.
Sky Chase put the record straight in the Gloaming Stakes. The race was also notable for being Marauding's final appearance before the Golden Slipper winning son of Sir Tristram starts his stud career at Newhaven this spring.
And hit again, Benny giving a ton of cheek, is still in front. Sky Chase grabbing him quickly. Further out is Lygon Arms. Sky Chase is nearly level with Hit Again Benny. Lygon Arms wants to hang in. He can't get to them, and Sky Chase exploded to the lead, and it's all over. Sky Chase is racing away to win the Gloaming Stakes brilliantly. Sky Chase beat Hit Again Benny. Gallant in defeat.
On the same day at Flemington, perennial classics guide, the VRC Ascot Vale Stakes, provided us with another great spectacle.
At the 400, Carpstead and Rancho Ruler and Kennedy, 3 in line from Disputed Pearl. Lonely Dreamer trying to get out. Then Omnicore, Gold Trump's running on fairly. Carpstead got its head in front. Rancho Ruler fights back. Lonely Dreamer and the All Whites, the one coming at them. Rancho Ruler beat off Carpstead, got a half in front. Lonely Dreamer and Gold Trump coming at it. Rancho Ruler just in front. Carpstead grabbing it on the line, might be doing best, and Carpstead
Carpstad's
Rubiton met talented Queensland 4-year-old Vo Rogue head-on in the Group 2 Fian Stakes, and the first of many course records came under threat. It's a pity Rubiton's premature retirement prevented us seeing the pair clash in the autumn, but at least we were fortunate to have them both in the spring.
500 out now, Vo Rogue ahead only to Rubiton, who's grabbed him on the outside and taken the lead. 3 lengths away then came All Spades, followed by Drought Cossack Warrior on the turn, and Rubiton about a neck in front of Vo Rogue, who's under the whip. 3 lengths to All Spades, Drought, then Cossack Warrior. But Rubiton's in front, and oh, gee, he is a good horse, like Harry said. 1.5 lengths to Vo Rogue into the straight. 4 lengths to All Spades, Drought, Cossack Warrior. But Rubiton wins in a canter. Goes to the line to score by 2 lengths to Vo Rogue. 5 lengths away, third, All Spades.
Bill, one of the first of the season's clues to the fillies comes at Randwick in the T-Rose Stakes.
Into the straight, Soda Springs just led the Cloisters with Ironic Lady on the outside. Glory Girl perched up on the fence, waiting for a run as they turn for home, and then St Clair. And further out, Twining is running on strongly. Glory Girl got the splits. She's dashed through to tackle Soda Springs with St Clair joining in on the outside. Glory Girl went to the lead 100 metres out. St Clair on the outside is trying hard to pick her up. Glory Girl and St Clair are fighting it out. It's a ding-dong go. Glory Girl going better, and she got there. With Ironic
the next edition of the Australasian Racing Year, we showed a clip of the Fernhill Handicap for 2-year-olds. Now, the point was to demonstrate the classics potential of a Bart Cummings trained colt. His name, Bozam. At 3, Bozam was first to demonstrate his tremendous stretch acceleration against the older horses in the Group 2 STC Hill Stakes.
Into the straight, Mardi Gras led over Port Kingdom. Bozam is cruising up on the outside of them, and then Palmyra Bay and Cool Deal is weaving and ducking between horses, coming to the 200 mark. Port Kingdom headed Mardi Gras, joining in Bozam. Cool Deal is getting a rails run. Bozam got to the lead 100 outs. Cool Deal got through on the fence, but it's all Bozam. And Bozam is racing away in the last bit. Oh, doesn't he look a good colt?
The first up on the Group 1 sprint circuit is the Marlborough Cup.
Down the hill at the 1,000 metres, Society Bay in front of half to Scott's Lane. About 1.5 lengths baptised from Our Avon's Gold, 2 to Lockley's Tradition. Then Bankcoin on the outside. They're followed by Osoma, who's up very handy from Western Pago. Next, Caledonian Boy, My Arctic Wolf, 1.5 lengths, Our Waverley Star, followed by Captain Police, Eastern Classic, Karonga Miss. Then Dandy Andy, Northern Copy and Fox Seal. 600 to go, Society Bay. Ahead in front of Scott's Lane, 1 to Our Avon's Gold, and then Baptised looking for the run on the fence. Lockley's Tradition being hard-ridden, and then came behind those horses Caledonian Boy putting in its claim. Isoma badly hemmed in from Bankcoin and Captain Police, and My Arctic Wolf around the outside from Our Waverley Star. Society Bay kicked away in the straight and led 1.5 lengths. Scott's Lane baptised. Caledonian Boy coming after them. Wider out, Western Pago is struggling. Isoma still can't get out. Society Bay clear at the 150, but here's Western Pago grabbing it. Our Waverley Star finishing well. Western Pago in front. Here's Cold-Hearted flashing. Western Pago's won it.
Western Pango is yet another big race winner for Pango Pango, a remarkable 2-year-old before going to stud in the US. Old Pango is alive and well and still serves a few mares at Robert Holmes Court's Heytesbury Stud outside Perth.
Show day was the scene for the inevitable showdown of Rubiton and Military Plume in the Group 1 Underwood Stakes.
Down the railway side, 1,000 to go, Dazzling Duke in front. A fraction over 1 length to Field Dancer, 1.5 lengths Military Plume, going well outside Royal Heights. 3 parts to Fair Sir, a neck away Rubiton, who's about 2 behind Military Plume. Then 1.5 lengths to Tidal Light, being niggled at a little, and Drought last. Dazzling Duke in front, 6.50 to go. A length Field Dancer, Military Plume a half length away, moving up 3 deep. And they were followed by Royal Heights on the rails. Rubiton about to come 4 wide around them. He's off on it now. And Tidal Light's trying to get through in the centre. On the corner, Dazzling Duke, Field Dancer. Rubiton's gone so quickly that it's run past Military Plume and has joined the leaders. Military Plume got cut off and Rubiton swept to the lead at the top of the straight. He's raced 2 lengths in front. In second placing now, Field Dancer. Military Plume struck. Then Fair Sir, Tidal Light, but Rubiton's a mile in front. He's 4 in front with 200. Fair Sir's gone into second placing, but Rubiton canters in by 3 lengths to Fair Sir. Drought's got up for third.
Let's go north now for the Metropolitan, which is off.
He was now the undisputed star of the 1987 spring, and the pressure was really on. The Caulfield Stakes.
Metres, as he does in the George Main Stakes.
Into the straight, Wong is the leader, but Campaign King is cruising to him on the outside. Further out on the track, Groucho winding up. Burglar of Banff on the fence, ran into a dead end there, and then Count Henri and Francette. Campaign King headed Wong. Groucho on the outside is trying to get to him. Campaign King went to the lead, 100 out. Groucho can't reach him. Campaign King's a length in front, now a length and a quarter, now a length and a half, and he's racing away. What a great weight for Age Galloper.
Back at Randwick.
Carpstad, Sky Chase and Rancho Ruler then staged a Sunday clash in the Group 2 Moonee Valley Stakes en route to the Caulfield Guineas.
Rancho Ruler and Carpstad have taken the lead with top innings. 3 in line from Prince Anton. Sky Chase trying to get out. Carpstad's out very wide on the track. He's pushed out on Sky Chase. Carpstad took the lead. Sky Chase is grabbing him quickly from Rancho Ruler. Carpstad in front. Rancho Ruler, and now Sky Chase has grabbed him. He's too good. Sky Chase finishing the best and wins by a half length to Carpstad.
And Brian Mayfield Smith's stables were dominant in the Fillies Classics, and it turned out to be prophetic that the stable entries fought out the T-Rose. Then the first Fillies Group 1 of the season, the AJC Flight Stakes.
Into the straight, 400 metres out, and the leader is Iolani Bay over Glory Girl. Cassidy hasn't popped the question yet, and then Feminine Ways, followed by Ironic Lady, and Penny Rowe out wide is putting in a strong run as they top the hill, and Judy Ann is getting the split between the two leaders, but Glory Girl is in front. She got clear of Judy Ann. Penny Rowe dying on her run. Glory Girl's in front, getting close to home. Judy Ann under the whip is trying desperately, but won't pick up the leader, and Glory Girl wins the Flight Stakes.
Stewards reversed the placings after examining the incident near the 200-metre mark, allowing Judy Ann to emulate the win of her sister Golene, who won the 1984 edition before taking out the 1,000 guineas.
The classic of the season, the AJC Spring Champion Stakes, fell to him in race record time.
6 lengths from first to last as they come to the corner, and Hit Again Benny is first into the home stretch over Roman General and Nixon, and 4 deep as Bozam. Marshall letting loose as they come around the turn, followed by Port Kingdom all ashore, and then Ma Wong, Western Lee and Impoverished bailed up with nowhere to go. On top of the rise, Hit Again Benny joined by Nixon. Bozam claiming them now. Marshall had a peep over the left shoulder. There's nothing coming from behind. Now he goes for home, and Bozam headed off Nixon and Hit Again Benny, and the odds-on favourite starting to career away on the last bit, Bozam, and he's going to trot in. Bozam bolts away with the Champion Stakes. Nixon second.
Bozam represented only a part of Bart Cummings' assault on the classics.
At Randwick 7 days later, Campaign King was given top weight of 59 kilos in the traditional spring mile, the Epsom.
On the corner, heads a turn for home in the Epsom, 450 out, and Groucho led Cool Deal. Full Page in third place, followed by True Reason. Swift Cheval can't get a run anywhere. Campaign King behind those under heavy pressure. He's not doing enough at the moment from Bicentenary and Royal Reel. Groucho kicked away at the 200 mark. He's full of running. Groucho 2 lengths or more in front of Cool Deal, and now Sound Horizon starting to fly home. Sound Horizon is coming home right over the top of Groucho. Groucho stopping. Sound Horizon grabbed him and beat him.
He returned to racing in the spring of '87 in the Rupert Steele Stakes at Caulfield.
He didn't feel like a fast horse. He was a big, strong horse, and he used to gallop without any dramas. I think he was just an easy-going horse. But you'd look at the horses beside you if ever there was any there, and they'd be going flat out and going backwards.
Inside the 400, and Clements hasn't moved on Placid Arc yet. It's Gouchy hard at work at Christmas Tree on the outside, about a length and a half then to Special, and then Starge Quillo is struggling. Placid Arc, Clements about to go for him, and he's put a gap in them. As soon as Clements moved, Placid Arc went zoom and raced away from Christmas Tree and Special, and he is extra good.
In front of Guineas. Midnight Fever, who had established herself as the leading juvenile filly the previous season, unveiled her classics potential in the Veuve Clicquot, and then the Edward Manifold Stakes at Group 2.
Inside the 400, Midnight Fever cruised to the lead now from Jewel of Light. Sister Shirley getting out. Clark starting to go for it. Then Glorious Way, and then Lady Marita is gone from Tennessee Vane, but Midnight Fever shot 3 in front with about 250 to go. Jewel of Night is dropping out of it. Coming home hard, Tennessee Vane. Clark's had to go for the whip, but it's going to win Midnight Fever. Tennessee Vane's flashing home, but Midnight Fever won at a half length to Tennessee Vane.
Cup's lead-up is the VRC Turnbull Stakes, run at Flemington exactly a month before the Melbourne Cup.
Entering the straight, 500 out, Vogue, 4 lengths in front of Fair Sir, a length and a half, Military Plume, King of Brooklyn, a few of them under the whip, Royal Heights, Tristram, our Waverley Star, the outer, trying to get a run, still ours, All Spades, Fair Sir's out after Vogue at the 300, they're both under the whip. 3 lengths to Military Plume, who's beaten, and they were followed then by Darius Fun running on. Vow Rogue tackled by Fair Sir. They're 3 or 4 lengths in front of King of Brooklyn and Darius Fun. Fair Sir and Vow Rogue are going stride for stride with 100 to go. Coming home, Darius Fun and All Spades. It's Vow Rogue fighting back a half head in front of Fair Sir, and he's going to win. Oh, great run. Vow Rogue, a short head to Fair Sir.
Good run. Go north now for the Metropolitan, which is often a great guide for the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups, and the 1987 edition was no exception. The horses to watch for are Belciano in yellow with red sash and sleeves and a black cap, and Kenzai.
Belciano getting a dream run on the inside, followed by the Brotherhood, Mount Bank, then Dream Lodge, Ostensible, Beal Bangra's out deep from Semstar, taking off Sand Song around the outside. On the fence, Peaceful Kingdom, they're starting to bunch up again. Further back, Ponticelli, Counterfeit Coin, Kenzai has run into a dead end, and then Lord Highbrow, followed by Lonely Knights and Gilding, and Sir Zamazan went back to the rear, but look at them pack up on the corner. They're very tightly packed on the turn in the Metropolitan, and Belciano got a dream run through, and he's raced to the front. Belciano kicked away, coming up the rise, clear of the Brotherhood. Then Rising Fear, Mount Bank on the outside, followed by Ostensible and Dream Lodge. It's all Belciano at the 200 mark. He's gone further ahead. Belciano's 4, 5 lengths in front of the Brotherhood. Mount Bank is running on, followed by Kenzai from a long way back, but Belciano's got the Metrop shot to bits, and he won pulling up from Kenzai.
Belciano's easy win represents the most important training success for Neville Voigt, who had ridden Metropolitan winners Tails and Hay-Eye.
What a ride by Peter.
Now the Group 1 VATC Caulfield Guineas, the Australian equivalent of the English 2000 Guineas.
On the turn, Carpstad just the leader from Hello Melbourne, Rancho Ruler, Sky Chase out 4 deep, and then came Our Poetic Prince trying to get out and has got out. Carpstad in front, Sky Chase has gone. Rancho Ruler's tackling Carpstad, but Our Poetic Prince has grabbed them in a stride. High Regard coming with a good run from Mawong. Sky Chase might run last, but Our Poetic Prince is going to walk in the Guineas. Scores by about 1.5 lengths, second Mawong.
Our Poetic Prince was relegated for causing interference to Mawong in the early part of the straight. Mawong was bred by Mrs. Pam Rose at her Pokey Hill stud in New South Wales, and is the Whiskey Road half-brother to Queensland stallion Captain Piper.
7 days after Vow Rogue's Turnbull win over 2,000 metres, Vic Rail switched him back to the Elders Mile at Caulfield.
600 to go, and the leader, Vow Rogue, a length. Western Pago out after it on the outside now. They were followed by Elshin Farah, hard ridden, and back behind those horses now. Looking for a run is My Arctic Wolf, who's gone up into third placing as they round the turn, and they were followed by on the outside Barusha, and Never Quit is back behind them. Then Caledonian Boy into the straight, and Vow Rogue kicked away. He's got 2 lengths in front now at the 300 metre mark from Western Pago. Caledonian Boy's running on well. Never Quit's run into a dead end. It's Caledonian Boy grabbing Vow Rogue with 200 to go. They're followed by Barusha. Northern Copy was next, but Caledonian Boy striding away, and it's going to win at about a neck to Vow Rogue, who battled on. Globetrotters got up for third.
Caledonian Boy's Elders win came 13 years after his sire, Plush, won the Caulfield feature, when it was narrowly deserved his most important success, although he received 4.5 kilograms from Vow Rogue.
Colin Hayes was forced to halt Military Plume's spring campaign after the Turnbull, and Rubiton had his troubles too.
Again, Field Dancer in front as they pass the 800, and with 700 to go, it's about a head in front of All Spades. One further back now is Dandy Andy. Now, here's Fair Sir. He's trying to get a break on Rubiton as he sprints round the field from Tidal Light. A length to Rubiton, and they're followed by Drought. Now, Fair Sir's got to the front at the 500. He's shot 2 in front. Here's Rubiton, pull to the outside around All Spades and Field Dancer. Fair Sir straightens up 2 in front. White's feeling for the whip on Rubiton. And then Field Dancer, and here's Drought. Fair Sir well clear. White's gone for the whip. Rubiton trying to get to Fair Sir, who's 2 in front. Rubiton's not responding too well. Drought's run to him, in fact. Fair Sir in front of Drought the outside. Rubiton's gone. Drought coming at Fair Sir near the line, and Drought's got up.
For the Trelawney-bred Drought, the Caulfield Stakes brought a belated Group 1 win. After he won the Gloaming as a spring 3-year-old, who could have believed he would not win again for almost a year? The Caulfield Stakes was next, but sometimes something just has to give.
Well, he got away with me on the Friday morning here, and he was clocked around 6 and 18 on the sand track here. He was the strongest horse I ever had anything to do with. He had so much power. He was a horse that a lot of horses you could get hold of them, rein them up and get a short hold of them on the track here, and you will beat them. They'll give in. But he had such a will that he never ever gave in. You couldn't beat him with force.
When he came off the track, I was just turned around and walked away. I was so disgusted to see him going the way he was going. When he came off the track, I think Harry could sense that I wasn't happy, and the strapper went out to lead him in, and when he brought him back to me, I said, Harry, you didn't need that. And Harry said, won't hurt him, Pat, won't hurt him. I said, he's not a bloody engine. He said, yes, he is. He said, he is an engine, this horse, he said.
Rubiton's not responding too well. Drought's run to him, in fact. Fair Sir in front of Drought the outside. Rubiton's gone. Drought coming at Fair Sir near the line, and Drought's got up.
So now they had a problem. How to bring a horse back to win the championship of Australasian racing, the Cox Plate, in just 2 weeks.
The other top Cups trial that day was provided by Cossack Warrior, the Bletchingley half-brother to Cossack Prince. That's him looming up in the familiar blue and green colours of Robert Sangster.
On the turn, and Noble Kid a length the best time out after it now from Bourbon Boy on the rails. Here's Cossack Warrior, and our Palliser out wider coming with a strong run. In the straight, Noble Kid a length and a half, Cossack Warrior, our Palliser out wide under the whip. Then Bourbon Boy, Regimental March finishing on from well back, but Cossack Warrior's taken the lead from Noble Kid. Our Palliser under the whip is battling on third, but Cossack Warrior clear. Our Palliser can't get to it. Cossack Warrior's going to win. Noble Kid hangs on the inside. Oh, no, he got cut off.
Conditions on the opening.
Bianco flies a mile in front. It's Stablemate Midnight Fever starting to come out after it now from Impazera. It's Bianco Flyer clear at the 200. 2 lengths in front of Midnight Fever and Impazera. Bianco Flyer the leader. Midnight Fever's running on, but Bianco Flyer, the stablemates won at a length and a quarter. Midnight Fever.
The result was a tremendous one for breeder owner Jack Kay. The filly is from his Perth and Sandown Cups winner, Bianco Lady.
Cup Carnival were good, but the 110th running of the Foster's Caulfield Cup was a very soggy affair. Cossack Warrior is the 4-to-1 favourite from the 3-year-old Beau Zam.
Then Secret Seal now commencing a run, and Cossack Warriors going around them on the outside too. Beau Zam's a long way back from I'm a Red Man coming into it. With 600 to go, Lord Ream's got away 2 lengths to Noble Kid. Here's Cossack Warrior. He's gone up into second place now, and then Colour Page. They're followed by Belciano getting through, and Secret Seal to the outside. Round the turn they come. Lord Ream's in front. 2 lengths to Cossack Warrior in second placing. They're followed by Noble Kid and Beau Zam now down the outside. But Lord Ream's at long odds is clear from Cossack Warrior, Belciano and Beau Zam. Lord Ream's has got a big break though at the 200. Beau Zam starting to fly with his lightweight. Lord Ream's in front. Beau Zam after him. I don't think he'll get him. Lord Ream's just in front on the line. He's won it. Lord Ream's won it ahead to Beau Zam.
The result was a triumph for the great sire Zamazan, who supplied the Quinella, and for the reigning New Zealand trainer Cliff Fenwick. It was the second successive year that New Zealand stables had taken the Caulfield Cup, following Mr Lamondi's victory 12 months earlier, and the second straight year the Adelaide and Caulfield Cups double had been completed. How to bring a horse back to win the championship of Australasian racing, the Cox Plate, in just 2 weeks. Long-time friend George Hanlon provided the solution. Rubiton needed a break from the hurly-burly of city training tracks. 2 weeks in the country might just help rejuvenate the champion.
To be quite frank, on Cox Plate Day, I had a feeling of calm because I felt that I'd done all I could for him down at the property at Leopold. And, you know, it's a big race coming up. You've done all you can do.
WS Cox Plate. But the Moonee Valley Racing Club, which had been blessed with the magnificent Bone Crusher and Our Waverley Star clash 12 months earlier, was lucky again. And just as it had been in 1987, we were all the beneficiaries.
Racing. Marwong, Vo Rogue, Our Poetic Prince and Beau Zam away well. Drought back to the rear with Fair Sir and Rubiton. Vo Rogue led. Tidal Light coming across is trying to head him off. And Tidal Light got over level with Vo Rogue, who's pulling a bit and took the lead out of the straight. 3 lengths to Marwong third. Beau Zam's up 4th today. High Regard went via the Cape. Poetic Prince up 5th on the inside, and then came Carpstad. High Regard very wide from Fair Sir, Midnight Fever. Campaign King is back next, and second last Rubiton and 2 to Drought. Vo Rogue by 5 lengths at the 1400 metres from Tidal Light. 4 lengths to Marwong, a length Beau Zam shading Poetic Prince the rails. Wonder Carpstad, High Regard deep from Fair Sir, and then Midnight Fever, Rubiton, Campaign King and Drought. Bow Rogues 8 lengths in front round the 1200 metre corner. They're going at record pace. Second is Tidal Light. Another 8 or 10 lengths to Marwong. They're followed further back a length to Bozam, Poetic Prince, High Regard. He'll fall in a hole from Carpstad. They're followed by Fair Sir, Midnight Fever, 2 to Rubiton and Campaign King and 3 to Drought. I've never seen a Cox Plate like this, spread out at the 800. Bow Rogue 6 lengths clear from Tidal Light. 8 lengths Marwong. Poetic Prince off the fence has gone up 4th. Bozam a length and a half away from Fair Sir, Carpstad. Rubiton's travelling well. Then Midnight Fever, High Regard, Campaign King and Drought. With 600 to go, Bow Rogue 4 lengths to Marwong. Tidal Light I think's gone. Then Poetic Prince, Bozam. Here's Midnight Fever letting go the filly. Rubiton trying to get out, and then follows Carpstad, and Drought's broken down. 400 out, and the leader still Bow Rogue, a length to Marwong. Our Poetic Prince is travelling beautifully the outside, and Rubiton's getting out. Our Poetic Prince has claimed the leaders on the turn. Rubiton and Fair Sir out after it. It's Our Poetic Prince in front. Rubiton stumbled, bumped into Fair Sir. Our Poetic Prince a length in front. Rubiton gets balanced, races up on the outside. Rubiton's hit the front, and Rubiton's won the Cox Plate. Rubiton's won the Cox Plate. About a neck to Our Poetic Prince, a length to Fair Sir.
What a race. The Cox Plate is the richest unsponsored race in the land. And again, it has lived up to its title as the race where legends are made. They ran 2:2.9, which is a half second inside the record set by Bow Rogue in winning the Alistair Clark Stakes the previous March. It's a pity Vic Rail forgot to nominate Bow Rogue for the McKinnon Stakes 7 days later.
Perth.
Placid Arc picked up from where he'd finished at 3, returning to easily down Christmas Tree and Special in the Rupert Steele Stakes. He then gave us an electrifying performance in the Moir Stakes, just 40 minutes after the Cox Plate.
Past the 600, Placid Arc under restraint, 3 parts to Prince Anton, 1 to Colpack, he's niggling at it. There followed 2 to Cara's Magic, forget the others. Clement's still got a hold on Placid Arc, but he's given him a bit more rain. He's drew 2 in front with 400 to go. Colpack's got up to Prince Anton. The West Australians are all there. They're going to run the trifecta, I think, and then Cara's Magic. But Placid Arc, Clement's still got a hold on it. 3 in front into the straight, now 4, now 5. Colpack's battling on for second, and then Prince Anton, but Placid Arc down to the line. Can he break the record? He goes to the line. Placid Arc's won it by 5.
Now the spring 2-year-old race is the Maribyrnong Plate at Flemington on Derby Day, and it produced a superb performance.
Sculptures Blue, the filly in front of the crossing, strides out 3 lengths in front. Kingston Heritage went up stylishly to second at Alibaba down the outside. Then Trendy Bay starting to run on. Blazing Sword well back, and so too is Almerta Jazz and Beat the Habit. Sculptures Blue, Clark sitting pretty at the 300. It looks to be cantering to me at the distance. 3 lengths in front now. Second is Kingston Heritage under the whip. Now Blazing Sword running on. It's starting to motor home, but it's got a big break, Sculptures Blue, and is in no danger of defeat as they go to the post. And down to the line, Sculptures Blues won at 3.5 lengths to Blazing Sword.
That was the Flying Art Sculptor filly's 3rd win from as many starts. But unfortunately, due to a wind infirmity, it was to be the last we saw of her.
Ibazera, winner of the Thoroughbred Club Stakes before her 3rd in the 1,000 guineas, is the one to watch here. Her dam, Calera, won a division of the Wakeful Stakes in 1975.
Into the straight, 500 to go. Sandy's Pleasure only a length and a half now to St Clair. Sound Gold the outside, Sister Shirley, Iolani Bay getting up on the fence, Tennessee Vane trying to get out. Bianco Flyer called upon under her big weight down the outside, and then Empacera with 300 to go. Sandy's Pleasure a length and a half, Tennessee Vane under the whip. Here's Empacera, the danger down the outside, ran into Bianco Flyer. And it's Tennessee Vane getting up on the inside to join Sandy's Pleasure. He's getting going on Empacera now. Sandy's Pleasure fights back. Tennessee Vane in front, but Empacera's grabbing it. It'll win. Empacera's got up the win from Tennessee Vane. A great run.
Stakes winner, Toscan Girl.
Marwong, Our Poetic Prince, Carpstad and Bozam then went via the Cox Plate on their way to the Hong Kong Bank Victoria Derby.
Nixon hanging badly is almost up with this leader, which is Ascot Lane. In the centre, Corso Plus is also there. Ascot Lane kicked away a little bit. They were followed then by Crush under the whip. Hunter out wide. And let's see, further back in the field is All Ashore. Bozam can't win. And Our Poetic Prince going for a rails run. They've got to Ascot Lane at the 200. If he gets through Our Poetic Prince, he might beat them. Ascot Lane in front, Omnicore the challenger, and Our Poetic Prince the rails. Omnicore's going home better. Omnicore's taken the lead, and it's going to win from All Ashore.
Assisted by a perfect Jim Cassidy ride, Omnicore gave Grosvenor a classic winner from his first crop. Fittingly, it came in the race Grosvenor had stamped his authority on so indelibly in 1982. While Sir Tristram's progeny would surprisingly fail to win a Group 1 in 87-88, his sire of sires reputation was enhanced by Grosvenor.
Flemington and the Gadsden Stakes.
About 650 metres to go, and Ever Ready leads on the inside by the best part of 3 lengths over Princely Heart, who is being very hard ridden. Rendu coming into the picture. Christmas Tree is hard at it. Taj Quillo's on the rails, and they're being followed by Colpack. Down the grandstand side, it's Sky Faloo in the lead march. Akita is running on, and so is Targlish. Ever Ready clear over on the inside in the closing part from Princely Heart. Sky Faloo the outside march. Akita and Targlish. Sky Faloo does best. Sky Faloo has won it.
Sky Faloo continued the blitz from the west in lowering Alander Bay's race record by 1/10 of a second. Popular Perth owner Wally Hanna secured him for $10,000 at Waikato in 1985.
It's a pity Vic Rail forgot to nominate Vo Road for the McKinnon Stakes 7 days later. But here's how Rubiton fared in what turned out to be his final race.
And the leader is King of Brooklyn, 2 lengths to Rubiton, 1.5 lengths Military Plume and Drought to the outside from Belciano. King of Brooklyn clear. Harry's hard at work on Rubiton. He's not responding too well. Military Plume and Drought sticking with him. It's King of Brooklyn in front. Rubiton's getting to him now. Then came Military Plume and Drought. Rubiton's got to King of Brooklyn. He's taken the lead with 100 to go. He's in front. Military Plume's grabbing him. King of Brooklyn's coming again. It's a race. Rubiton and nose in front and 1.
Before departing to Transmedia Park Stud, Rubiton left no doubts that he is easily the best son of Century. Bred by Ray Olaf's Oamaru stud, he was a $45,000 Abcos yearling, purchased by trainer Pat Barnes for his Adelaide owners David and Rod Bayliss. Mike Willesee bought a 25% interest in Rubiton for $250,000 at the end of the horse's 3-year-old season.
There was no doubt that Rubiton was over the top in that race, and only his enormous heart enabled him to make it 3 Group 1 races for the season. And, of course, Harry White, always cool in a crisis. While the honours were with the winner, what about the run of Military Plume? Colin Hayes had sent him back to Lindsay Park after his injury, and his effort to finish so close at his first outing for 28 days was rather special.
Would be robbed of the opportunity to see Rubiton's greatness develop further in the autumn of '88. He returned to Adelaide after the McKinnon, and midway through his next preparation, tragedy struck.
Went to feed him at lunchtime one day, and he had a tendon. Bowed tendon. And to this day, I consider that it must have happened through the horse getting cast, because he was a horse you kept close watch on all the time, and I had never ever noticed any indication of tendon trouble until that particular time when I went to feed him.
Well, I'll never forget him, and I'm building a new home up at the farm, and it's going to have a nameplate over called Rubiton, so I'll never forget him.
He put a smile upon your face, for he was something special. He proved as he progressed what a champion he really was, to meet and beat the best. At sprint or any distance, he'd take them in his stride. With Harry sitting quietly, he'd fill your heart with pride. His racing days are over. A sadness grips my heart. There'll never be another, and our time has come to part. My memories will linger of the day when he arrived, and the many thrills he gave me as game-heartedly he strived. He'll stamp his stock with will to win, I quote, convinced of that, for Rubiton was, after all, a true aristocrat.
Final major handicap lead-ups to the Cup are the famous Grouse Moonee Valley Cup and the Dalgety. While the latter race failed to shed any light, Rosedale's Valley second suggested he could give Bart Cummings that elusive 8th Melbourne Cup. And here's Bill Collins calling the great race for a record-breaking 34th time.
They're racing. Belciano jumped well. The roar from the crowd as one of the first out is Scarvilla, Kenzai. Cossack Warrior easing behind them, and Empire Rose has begun very well. Just behind them now, Belciano. It's going to cross near the rails in front, I think. And they're followed by South of Belmont and Rosedale on the outside. Then Like a Topic and Beau Trist is just behind them as they come onto the course proper. Belciano is a surprise leader, Cook restraining it. In second place, South of Belmont, Scarvilla on the rails, followed by Like a Topic. Rosedale up about fifth, and just behind it is the Brotherhood. Here's Agent Provocative now going to head them all off over on the outside. 1,400 to go, Agent Provocative by a length from South of Belmont, a length and a half. Belciano getting a dream run. Rising Fear, Bobby Skelton's got it up fourth on the outside, one to Like a Topic. Scarvilla hasn't had to do anything on the rails next, and they'll followed by Lord Highbrow, who's improved. Rosedale is back with it, he's settled a little better now, followed by the Brotherhood, Kenzai. Then Royal Heights, Beau Trist off the course. King Matthias taken away from the rails. Regimental March is going to need a bit of luck. He's locked away at the 800. And they were followed by Cool Rock and Daddy behind them. Argonaut Style. Marie Linda not having a lot of luck. And then Cossack Warrior and Our Palace are passing it. 600 out on the corner. And Skelton's taken Rising Fear to the lead in the Cup. Rising Fear heads for home with Agent Provocative. Then Belciano off the rails now from Like a Topic. Here's Rosedale pulled out wide on the track, and King Matthias is back behind them under the whip. With 400 to go, Agent Provocative fights back. It's about a length in front of Belciano. Rising Fear's gone. Scarvilla's got out. Here comes Rosedale on the outside with Empire Rose. They're claiming them quickly. Empire Rose got to the lead. Rosedale tackling it. Kenzai's got up on the rails. Larry Olsen driving it through. Kenzai's run to Empire Rose. Kenzai's taken the lead, and Kenzai won the Cup.
Kenzai produced the ultimate result for a group of battling owners. The first prize of $812,000, taking his earnings past $1 million. Kenzai was purchased privately by well-known syndicator Harry Lawton for $15,000. He is the second son of Royal Charger Line stallion Blarney Kiss to win the Melbourne Cup. Snowy Lupton, who raced the first Kiwi, actually bid on Kenzai at the Waikato yearling sales, just 10 weeks after Kiwi's Cup triumph. At Waikato, Kenzai was passed in for 13,000 New Zealand dollars.
7th Melbourne Cup certainly didn't let us down. For Les Bridget produced a training triumph with his first runners. He also saddled up the Brotherhood, who didn't have a lot of luck in running 7th. And for Larry Olsen, it capped a fairy tale comeback. Then VRC Stewart spoiled his celebrations by outing the champion jockey for 12 months over his ride on Sound Horizon, one race before the Cup. It provided Australia's media with a post-race drama of gigantic proportions, and the affair dragged on for weeks before Olsen was finally acquitted on appeal to the Independent Racing Tribunal.
Placid Ark had run the fastest of 13 Moyers and could have run a track record at Moonee Valley had Brendan Clements desired. In the Linlithgow, he was having his first run at 1,400 metres.
Past the 400, and Placid Ark has shaken Prince Anton off and led a length and a half. Prince Anton's under the whip, and then Groucho, Special making a run down the outside from Society Bay. Skyfaloo doing nothing, and Last Fox Seal. 300 to go, Placid Ark 2.5 in front. Dawkins is waving the whip at it though. Groucho starting to come home well down the outside. Placid Ark is just in front. Groucho pegging it back. Placid Ark the leader, he's going to win it. Placid Ark's won about 3/4 to Groucho, who couldn't go on near the line.
April is generally a top guide to the Oaks, and this year was no exception.
Down to the 800, Concordance in front. Bianco Flyer's gone up to its girth now. 1.5 to Juleps and Clear the Rails. Top date, 4 deep, 5 deep. Sandy's Pleasure's letting go. And following them, Impazera about to go 6 wide now. Then St Clair, Tennessee Veins got shuffle back on the corner. Round the turn they come now, and entering the straight. Concordance, the inside, has been tackled strongly by Bianco Flyer on the outer, and Sandy's Pleasure. They're 1.5 lengths to Impazera under the whip from Tennessee Vein. With 300 to go now, Bianco Flyer took the lead from Sandy's Pleasure. Impazera and Tennessee Veins getting through. Sandy's Pleasure in front, Tennessee Veins grabbing it. Out wide on the track, Impazera, Tennessee Vein, Bianco Flyer, Impazera, Tennessee Vein on the rails. It's Sandy's Pleasure's put its head in front near the line, and Sandy's Pleasure's won the Oaks.
The Oaks was a triumph for Jim Cassidy, who had also won the Victoria Derby on Omnicourt. It also underscored again what a master conditioner Neville Begg is with fillies. His 3 entrants running 1st, 3rd and 5th. Sandy's Pleasure is a granddaughter of VRC Oaks winner Sandaray.
Just a strong field in his attempt to become the 3rd horse in 4 years to collect the $200,000 bonus for the Epsom Ampol Stakes double, won by Riverdale and Chanticleer. However, the horse to watch is Warned, in dark blue with red band and cap.
then Swift Chevelle, then Riverdale, followed by Winter. Sound Horizon back at the rear now as they come to the corner with Cool Deal and Warren. 600 out on the bend, and the leader Groucho. Half a length to Sir Lustrious, the outside of him, and then a length for the back, Taj Quillo, Marchakita. Isoma to the outside, and Tierra Riz starting to warm up from Western Pago under pressure. With 300 to go, Groucho got a break, shot away, led by 3 lengths Illustrious. Here's Marchakita and Isoma down the outside. Wider out, Tierra Riz is under the whip, and then Riverdale at the 200. Groucho by 2. Marchakita starting to peg it back with Isoma. Marchakita going to Groucho, 100 to go, has taken the lead. Warren's getting through in the middle. Groucho just in front. Warren's grabbed it from Stone Motherless last. Warren.
Just 53 weeks after his last to first Carbine Club Stakes win on Derby Day 1987, Warren delivered Group 1 success for the Lee Freedman stable over the same ground.
For the New Zealand 1,000 guineas.
500 metres to run on the rights and guineas, and Classic Walker's back in front of Tasman Dancer. Here's Impasada coming at them quickly and wider out on the track. Candide's right in it. They were followed by Sarah Streena in behind them, Morgan Page. Further back to Ultrasound, Spangles is well beaten. 250 to go now. Impasada, but Candide is romping up on the outside. Candide's gone to the front, and Sarah Streena putting in late charges. Ultrasound through on the inside. Impasada, Candide in front, down to the post. Candide's going to win it from Sarah Streena and Ultrasound.
Candide, to later race in Sydney as It's Candide, is one of the biggest successes to come out of a 2-year-olds in training sale. The Tipperary bred filly cost $35,000 at Hamilton in September '86.
2,000 guineas, and witness Sea Anchor's best colt since Red Anchor.
Here's Western Lee pulled out to challenge and coming through between them Westminster. Wider out on the track then to Golden King, just behind them Higgins and If Ever. But Western Lee at the 300 pole. From Westminster the 2 favourites drawing away. Here's Golden King coming after them, then If Ever and Satisfy right down the outside with a big run. But Western Lee and Westminster there, the 2 fighting it out. Western Lee, all classes, won it by a neck.
He was later untroubled to win the Avondale Guineas, and would have been at a very long odds-on quote to collect the $300,000 bonus for his owners by winning the New Zealand Derby. However, tragedy befell Western Lee when he shattered a pastern in an exhibition gallop between races at Waipa 9 days before the Classic. So bad, he had to be put down.
He was one of the Derby heroes after his fighting third. His turn would come in the Sandown Guineas as he held off a whole gaggle of Godswalks to salute.
Ascot Lane, the leader. It's out off the fence, tackled immediately now by Potter McQueen, who can't go on, I don't think. Above Deck's in trouble getting a run. It's forcing a passage through on the outside, High Regard. Ascot Lane still in front of the 200, has beaten them off. Above Deck's gone, High Regard the danger. Little Ascot Lane in front, High Regard trying to get it. It won't, Ascot Lane's in front, it's going to win. Ascot Lane's won 3 parts of a length, High Regard.
After All Assure's late Derby charge, Tom Smith took him to Perth. As it was, he and Warren were the only name gallopers to go west.
300 to go, a length and a half, Corso Plus. Doodle-a-Kind Lass gained a dream run. Out wide was All Assured. Denver Dame is deep. Doodle-a-Kind Lass went straight past Fair Sir. 120 to go. Doodle-a-Kind Lass shot 3 in front. Fair Sir, All Assured. It's Doodle-a-Kind Lass in front. The mare's too good for them. She's eased down. 1-2 lengths All Assured.
Doodle-a-Kind Lass was bred from a mare purchased with a $2.
West, the old-timer.
Following his undefeated spring campaign in Melbourne, Placid Arc returned to the West for the Winterbottom Stakes.
300 to go on Placid Arc, leads into the straight. He's got his ears pricked as he swung into the straight. A length and a half, Baraka, another Roman. They're nicely clear from Heron Bridge, followed by Savile Row and Aussie Pack. It's in front, Placid Arc at the 200. Clements has pulled the whip out. Baraka fighting on another Roman, going for the inside run. But Placid Arc, he's a champion. He's pulling out every stop. He's going to win it, and he won by a length from Baraka. Kick away, got through for third.
After being then sent Sandy's Pleasure and Judy Ann to Perth. Their mission, the Group 1 WA Oaks.
Sound Gold has raced up to get within a half a length of Judy Ann. 2 lengths to Domineering, followed by Joy of the Jungle. Sandy's Pleasure is going to be battling to win. It's Judy Ann, but shooting clear, 100 to go. It's out by 3 lengths, Domineering and Sound Gold. And Judy Ann is coming home to win the Oaks, and is punched out, won by 2 lengths.
Assisted by a splendid Kevin Moses ride, Judy Ann won her second Group 1. The filly was bred in New South Wales, but sold as a yearling in New Zealand for $100,000.
Now
Without Western Lee, the Ellerslie Classic was to be a close affair.
4:50 to go. Beau Bijou led from on the outside of it. Account and Satisfy out 3 wide. Savoy's gone, then coming after them also Narboto down the outside. Candide quickly across the track at the 250. Satisfy took over from Accounted out wide. Candide. Spyglass is coming into it too. Satisfy Accounted on the inside. Narboto and down the outside. Candide strongly with Spyglass. Accounted the inside. Here's Satisfy out wide. Candide across the track up Butte Derby, and it's Accounted who has won the Derby.
Cathy Tremaine, who rode Accounted, admitted bumping the Queensland train Savoy on the turn and causing interference to Satisfy. But stewards were more interested in the final 200 metres, and they found that she allowed her mount to bore out onto Satisfy. Stewards reversed the placings after establishing that Accountant had caused inconvenience to Satisfy over the last 200 metres.
All Ashore had put together an exasperating run of seconds. His chance to change all that came in a substandard Channel 9 Australian Derby lineup on Boxing Day.
Into the home straight, 300 to go, and Pagodig has raced up to join the leaders. Bookra, Tab Harry going between them, followed by All Ashore, Riverside Drive and Flash Carly. It's the Bookra fighting out like a bulldog. He leads by 3/4 Pagodig. Here's All Ashore down the outside from Tab Harry. The Bookra's in front. All Ashore's getting to him. Tab Harry, All Ashore, and All Ashore's got up.
All Ashore is the third Group 1 winner for Crested Way, sire of Drought and South Australian Derby winner Shark's Fin. Now we continued his stud contribution with 2 Group 1 winners for the season. Belciano, the AJC Metropolitan winner, and Perth Cup victor, Link the Leopard.
On the turn, 4:50 to go. St Edwin's Pride by 1. Rouge Bijou coming off the rails. Royal Scribe going to third, followed by Call Me Kiwi. Then came Arca Lad, wide Link the Leopard, into the home straight, and St Edwin's Pride in front, 2:50 to go. A length and a quarter, Rouge Bijou and Royal Scribe. Arca Lad followed by Call Me Kiwi and Link the Leopard. It's still St Edwin's Pride, 100 to go. A length and a half from Royal Scribe. Here comes Link the Leopard and Arca Lad. Link the Leopard, Arca Lad and Link the Leopard.
The former Jeff Murphy-trained 5-year-old is also the second straight Perth Cup winner sired by Balmerino, although in much less controversial circumstances than surrounded Rocket Race's win 12 months earlier.
And clues for future reference. So let's go to Ellerslie for the DB Auckland Cup.
Darius Fun coming wide. Empire Rose with every show on the turn off the false rail. Fetto led by about 3 lengths. Here's Darius Fun a clear second. Kotari Chief Sea Swift winding up down the very outside. 300 metres to go. Darius Fun, Fetto. Here's Sea Swift closing steadily on the outside. Darius Fun took over. Sea Swift still about a length back, but closing 200 to go. Darius Fun, Sea Swift winding up the 2 of them. Darius Fun still in front. Sea Swift going after it to South Islander. Sea Swift's too good's going to win the cup. Won it by 3 parts. Darius Fun.
The pace set by the previous year's winner, Kotari Chief, enabled Sea Swift to clip a second off his Australasian record time. Her storming finish stopped the clock at 3:15.66.
Let's now go to New Zealand for the Dominion's 2 major Group 1 sprints. First, the Fieldhouse Railway Stakes at Ellerslie on New Year's Day.
They come to the false rail and sprint for home. Linda is the leader. Out wide, Spring Easy racing after it. Hot Ice battling with Courier Bay in behind them. Then followed by Orange A, but they get to the 200. Spring Easy's taken the lead from Melinda. Courier Bay now starting to stretch out with his weight and all. Now it's Spring Easy. Courier Bay going after him. Melinda on the inside. Here's Warri Lord late. Courier Bay on the outside. From Alinda the inside. Spring Easy between the 2. There's nothing in it. Alinda's won the railway.
Alinda's jockey, Cathy Tremaine, made up for the disappointment of losing the New Zealand Derby on protest a few days earlier. Bred in New South Wales by Mark Foister, the former Slick Juvenile came back after having bone chips removed from her knees.
Courier Bay, apart from his close second to Alinda when conceding her 9 kilograms, had been almost unstoppable. Here he tries for back-to-back wins in the Wrightson.
Squire Grey in front, 200 to go, but Courier Bay's coming after it there, followed by Alinda's Only Battling, and further back to Tall Dwarf and Sir Stacey, but Courier Bay is big weight and all. He's a champion sprinter, this bloke. He's came clear now from Squire Grey and Alinda and Sir Stacey. Courier Bay bolted in.
Despite the late rush of Sir Stacey, who would succeed at Group 1 level in the Easter Handicap, this Wrightson was a 1-horse race. As rider David Walsh said later, pure magic.
Back now to witness the awesome autumn displays of Bow Road.
On the corner, 400 out. Vogue 2 lengths to Groucho. Military Plume, hard ridden, putting in its claim. The leader's got them all off the bit. Then King Phoenix, Campaign King. Vogue led into the straight. Military Plume and Groucho wobbled round the corner, and then Campaign King. Vogue in front. Military Plume's getting in from Groucho, and then Campaign King. Vogue won't give in. Got a big heart. He's still in front. He's going to win. Vogue scores a half length of Military Plume.
69.9 equal Toy Show's race record.
Back to New Zealand now to show you a horse who could have a big impact in Australia before another Australasian racing year is out.
Up to the turn comes Courier Bay, 2 lengths over Hot Ice. Golden King's being asked the question. Lying fourth is Camelino Star. They were followed by Infinite Secret. Further back, Trimester and Mountain Ash, Lagerfeld, Snarben and Kosher and Pell Mell. Golden King is ranged up on the outside of Courier Bay's doing pretty well. Hot Ice is lying third. Running on a bit is Star Pride, Infinite Secret, Snarben down the outside, but Golden King, he's swept to the lead now from Courier Bay. Here's Star Pride running on strongly, and at the moment it's Golden King, Star Pride, Infinite Secret finishing well with Lagerfeld. Oh, Golden King just blitzed them.
Trainer Garth Ivel has found yet another smart one in this rather heavily topped son of Imposing. The Jardin was the 7th win from 11 starts for Golden King.
Indeed was one of the 4 fillies by sound reason to line up in the New Zealand Oaks at Trentham on Wellington Cup Day. This time also watch for Savannah City.
Up to the turn they come. Carrioy Princess about to be tackled now by Walkaway on the outside. Logistical is 3 deep, might have got to the lead. They were followed then by Red Chiffon. Carilla's looking for a way through, and further out then as Candide, followed then by Savannah City, and right down the very outside Spyglass. 200 to go. Candide's got to the lead now from Red Chiffon, and coming on well then is Savannah City, and they were followed by Walkaway. Candide in front. Is she going to be rewarded for a good consistency? She's going to be, I think. Candide in front, Savannah City, Red Chiffon, but Candide's won it.
The value of the New Zealand Classic would become evident in the AJC Oaks.
Now to windy Wellington for the 1988 Foster's Wellington Cup.
Up to the turn in the Cup, about 450 to go, and Kosh King will lead them in from Dungarvan. Poised to challenge on the outside is Threesome. Double Lang is next. Empire Rose is next, followed then by Gallipoli, and just over 200 to go, and Kosh King's the leader. Here's Threesome, and here's Empire Rose, and down the outside, Banderol's coming into it. Darius Fun's getting a split through as well. They're right across the track. Darius Fun's got to the lead now from on the outside. It's Banderol. Then we've got Empire Rose, Double Lang, but Darius Fun's home for the money. Won it easily. Banderol.
Trainer Sue Ellis became the first woman to train a major cup winner in New Zealand, as Darius Fun picked up her 3rd group race in 6 weeks and her most important success
in the AJC Oaks. But before we go to Randwick, let's look at some of the Australian form on the way. First, the Australasian Oaks.
Around the outside, Bianco Flyer, Sensation, hard ridden, followed then by Impazira, held up for run. She's into the clear now, and further back then Fire Tweak, Faithful Thought, can't get a run. Out wide, a Lady Shibboleth, Sister Shirley, Tilbon, misgrabbed by Bianco Flyer, but Impazira has claimed them all. Class might prevail. She's dashed away, Impazira. She's ducked back to the rail, but Class will prevail. She's too good. Impazira is going to put a space on them. She'll win by 2.5, Fire Twig.
In winning the Morphettville Classic, Impazira went one better than her dam Kalira after emulating her Wakeful win in the spring. Kalira is also the dam of Group 1 winner Imprimatur and stakes winner Calaboose.
9 equal Toy Show's race record. Then came the Ore Stakes at a slightly damp Sandown.
He goes now on the leader as they turn for home. Vogue shot 4 in front. Groucho and Military Plume together second, followed then by King Phoenix under the whip. He's gone for the whip on Vogue, but they're not making any ground on him. 200 to go. Vogue's got it. One, he's walked in. Vic Rail's got this horse fit. Vogue's now 6 in front of King Phoenix, running up the second with Groucho and then Military Plume. Vogue's won by 5 lengths to King Phoenix.
His Blamey rivals fared no better 7 days later.
Oh, Cyril had a peep over the shoulder and said, "Where are you, fellows?" Vogue, he's still 6 in front. He rides him along now. He's got it 1. What an exciting horse this is. Vogue's 6 lengths in front of Bonomi, King Phoenix and Cossack Warrior. Vogue has won by 7 lengths. Bonomi second.
Australia's great milers have assaulted the Flemington record in vain for almost 50 years, until Vogue's historic win, 1986-87. He missed the spring of his classic year, but didn't take long to put his stamp on the autumn. Flotilla demonstrated just how well he'd come back with a 6-length win in the Bicentennial Stakes at Moonee Valley. His Australian Guineas confrontation with Sky Chase promised much, and they delivered.
The leader, Spacecraft, with 500 to go. From Sky Chase and Ligon Arms by 4 lengths. Flotilla is struggling, couldn't win. Then came Tennessee Vane, Havelock's Pride, with 300 to go. Spacecraft still the leader. Sky Chase in second place. Flotilla's answering the whip now. Spacecraft clear, however, from Sky Chase. Flotilla under the whip, trying hard. Sky Chase has got to the leader. Flotilla, it might beat them yet. Sky Chase has taken the lead. Flotilla wearing them down. All throwing everything at it. It's going to win. Oh, Kingston Town.
The memorable wins of True Version and Military Plume in the first 2 editions of the Cadbury Australian Guineas were a tough act to follow. But with some talented help, the Blandford Park bred Flotilla kept the run going.
Meanwhile in Sydney, Snippets arrived back with wins over At Sea in the Carrington Stakes and Challenge Stakes, races At Sea had won for the previous 3 years. The colt then went south to attempt to emulate Placid Arc's history-making wins in the Melbourne Autumn Sprint Treble. First, the Lightning.
With about 400 to go, Snippets eased up on the outside and has quickly grabbed them with Special coming at them. Christmas Tree trying to get through, can't, and then Campaign King, but Special has gone to the lead with Snippets with 100 to go. Special's doing better, drew a length and a half clear, and it's a bit of a boil over. Special's drawing away and has won it easily. A length and a half to Snippets.
12 months later, the horse that chased Placid Arc home went up the straight quicker than anything had before, or since for that matter. Her name was quite appropriate.
Already Special's taken the lead and first away from Snippets, Rancho Roland and Campaign King, and Special has won. Snippets second, they've broken the record.
Special's record of 55.5 seconds stands to this day.
Their Australian record-equalling performance in the aptly named Lightning, Colin Hayes took Special back to Lindsay Park to rest up for the Newmarket. Snippets went to Caulfield with this result.
It's Snippets the leader from Rancho Ruler, 200 to go, holding it by about a half length, and Snippets is going to win. Snippets drawing away again near the line, wins a length and a quarter to Rancho Ruler.
Brilliant display sliced the track record to 62.8 seconds, and the stage was set for the... Before the St George Stakes, Colin Hayes announced he would use Dowie as a pacemaker to assist Cossack Warrior to match Vogue brilliance. The controversial but legitimate ploy resulted in another track record.
Dowie and Vogue together at the 800. They're 2 lengths to Cossack Warrior out after them as Vogue takes the lead. And about 8 lengths away, King of Brooklyn, Dandy Andy. Vogue's in front. The champ from Queensland, 2 lengths in front of the 600. Cossack Warrior's gone up second. You can forget the others. Dowie's third and a long gap, King of Brooklyn and Dandy Andy. Round the turn, 400 out, Vogue, 1 length, Cossack Warrior. 3 lengths away came Dowie. Cossack Warrior challenging Vogue. Small had a look over the shoulder. Not far to look because Cossack Warrior's at his girth. They're both under the whip. Vogue's in front. He's holding Cossack Warrior at bay. And Vogue's going to do it again. You can't beat him no matter what you do. Vogue comes away, wins by 2.5 lengths. Cossack Warrior, 3 lengths on the line.
This Autumn Classic was born in 1987 and was christened in no uncertain terms by Meyercard, giving more than a hint of what was to come in Sydney 2 months later. Autumn Classic number 2 was to be much more controversial.
Spacecraft shot away from Flotilla. On the outside, Ligon Arms. Sky Chase in the middle. Flotilla got knocked over. And the leader is on the inside still is Spacecraft. Sky Chase, he's run into a pocket on it. Mr. Dynamite the outside with Ligon Arms. Mr. Dynamite's going to get up and win. Mr. Dynamite has won. Ligon Arms second. Spacecraft third.
Who would have thought Flotilla and Sky Chase could miss a place in a field of 6? Hang 10 Blue Diamond is one of the most sought-after prizes on the calendar for young horses. The 1988 running boasted the unbeaten Zeditov in the pink and white colours from Barrier 4, and one further out, Vitalik, in burgundy, royal blue and cream.
The racing, Zeditov has bounced out in front on the inside. Vitalik a bit slow to get going. And Scarlet Bisque going quickly to head them all off when they settle down. Pray for Colleen is up there with them too. And then came through on the inside. Startling Lass going into a handy position. And Zeditov is Stone Motherless Last settling down. Going down to the 800, Scarlet Bisque a length to Pride of Colleen, Pray for Colleen, Startling Lass, Zeditov, Rich Habit out wide, Nenyatara. Then Forget Me, followed behind them Almurda Jazz, and then Pride of Ingenue, who's well back. Back with it all, also on the outside. Zedative taken away from the rails now. Kingston Heritage is back with that lot, and Sober Dancer last on the corner. And the leader here over on the inside is Scarlet Bisque with Pray for Colleen and King's High going up to make a line of 3. Zedatives travel well behind them from startling last. Nanyatara starting to run on. Zedatives looking for a run and has got it. Vitalik about 6 starting to run on. He hasn't let Zedative go yet. At the 200, and Zedative has cantered up to Pray for Colleen. Vitalik getting out, starting to run home from Nanyatara. He goes for home on Zedative. He's quickly got it won. Zedative's going to win the Blue Diamond. Battle for the Miners. Vitalik a mighty run for second. Mighty run for second. A nose in front of startling last, then Nanyatara. It was followed by Pray for Colleen, Sober Dancer. Behind them is King's High, Scarlet Bisque, tired badly. Then Kingston Heritage, Pride of Ingenue.
The Blue Diamond result saw Zedative head to Sydney with an unblemished record after 5 starts. He is a son of dual VRC Lightning winner The Judge, from an unraced daughter of Crowned Prince, the Dewhurst winning brother to Kentucky Derby winner Majestic Prince.
The action moves closer to home now as we're treated to a flash front-running exhibition in the Wait for Age Chipping Norton Stakes at Warwick Farm.
Onto the turn, Wong is the leader. Bono Me is within a length of him as they come around the corner, 2 lengths away. Never Quit, followed by Hunter, and then Periscope, Imprimatur and Prankster wide out in the straight. Wong is going strongly. Wong going strongly at the 200. He got away from Bono Me. Hunter in 3rd place, then Never Quit, Rajamar and Periscope. Wong in front, 100 out. Bono Me trying desperately to pick him up. Rajamar is flashing home, but Wong's going to cause a boil over, and Wong led all the way.
We've certainly seen more talented Group 1 winners than Wong, but fewer more honest than the Paul Southern success.
If anyone doubted Bone Crusher's ability to make a comeback, his performance in the Air New Zealand Stakes would have silenced them.
Racing in the Air New Zealand, perfect start. Field Dancer bounced out, Random Chance heading to the lead on Deriana, kicked up on the inside with Lord Sutax and Golden King. The 3-year-old might head them all off. He's raced up 3 wide. Rationale is going with it. Bone Crusher dropped back last as they left the straight. Precocious Lad and Lude back last. The pace right on, and now Lord Sutax takes the lead. Golden King's about a half lip from Lotta, then Sounds Like Fun, and Bone Crusher lobbing along last on the inside. They pack up on top of the rise, 1,000 out. Only 8 lengths first to last. Lord Sutax led a half length. Rationale right there. Deriana, they're going slowing now. Then on the outside, Tribel's got very, very handy. Lou came next. Then Golden King got squeezed back 5th. Random Chance on the outside next. Then followed by Horlicks. Sounds Like Fun is next. Then Field Dancer. Then Guess. Then Precocious Lad. And Stewart quite happy to be last on the outside of it with Bone Crusher only 6 lengths off the pace. They race to the turn 550 metres out. Lord Sutax, Rationale the 2. Tribel's poised behind the leaders. Then followed by Golden Kings who are well buried. On the inside of it, Deriana, Bone Crusher still last into the straight, and 350 to go, and it's Lord Sutax, pounced on by Tribel, Rationale, Deriana, Horlicks looking for room, so too Bone Crusher threading it through way through also with Golden King. Down the outside, Sounds Like Fun at the 200, Deriana, Sounds Like Fun swamping them. Here comes Bone Crusher now. Deriana, Sounds Like Fun, Bone Crusher stretching out after them, and Horlicks right through on the inside. Sounds Like Fun, Bone Crusher, and Bone Crusher got
The Crusher had previously won the Kiwi equivalent to the WS Cox Plate as a 3-year-old. Such is the charisma of Bone Crusher that Jeff Chapman bid $220,000 New Zealand dollars for a brother to the champ at the initial Karaka yearling sale.
Vo Rogue sliced 1.5 seconds from the track record, which had belonged to Boctasan. Switched from 1,800 back to 1,400 metres against the Group 1 sprinters, Vo Rogue was this time considered vulnerable by his trainer, Vic Royal.
Round the turn, Vo Rogue led by 2.5 lengths. Rancho Ruler second. Campaign King's got out. On the outside of them, further back, Cameronic and Caledonian Boy. Vo Rogue's only a length in front. Campaign King out after him at the 200 is tackling him. He's gone for the whip on Vo Rogue. Campaign King's got to his girth. Vo Rogue jumped in front. Campaign King trying. The Vo in front. He's done it again.
Another incredible performance from Vo Rogue saw another name disappear from the record books. This time it was that of Galleon, who had taken 122.4 to subdue Manicato in the 1982 Futurity. Vo Rogue is the 3rd foal from Vow and was purchased out of the paddock at around 9 months old for $5,000.
While things were hotting up in Sydney, The first of the big 3-year-old races is the Canterbury Guineas.
On the corner, however, and High Regard is first for home in the Guineas and straightened up well clear. In second place, Capstad with Sky Chase on the outside, but High Regard well clear and going strongly as they come to the 200 mark. Sky Chase running into second place, but High Regard is well clear with 100 to go. He's holding them safely at bay. Sky Chase in second place, trying desperately to pick him up, but High Regard is too good. He's going to lead most of the way to win the Guineas. High Regard, a brilliant winner.
High Regard had heralded his Guineas chances with some sound spring performances and prepped for the race with a course record win in the Hobartville Stakes at Warwick Farm. His Guineas win gave Biscay Stallion High Reserve Group 1 success with his first offspring.
The stage was set for the return clash of history's fastest Oakley Plate winner and a very special mare in the Super Mild Newmarket, Australasia's Premier Sprint.
Red Elva led at the 400, and Nectar Snippets, Rancho Ruler the outside, Princely Heart, Special going well, nowhere to go at the moment from My Arctic Wolf. Now Snippets has taken the lead, Red Elva's gone from Rancho Ruler, Special's getting out, Snippets in front, Rancho Ruler, Franklin Drive, and now Special's got up on the fence. Special's hit the front in the Newmarket, drawing away from Rancho Ruler and Franklin Drive, and Special's coming away to win it well by 1 length, the stablemate.
Special's great win saw her duplicate Maybe Mahal's lightning Newmarket double 10 years earlier. Special has been very much the standard bearer for Habitat horse Habituate, who's based at Lindsay Park. Habituate finished this racing year as the country's leading stallion of those with 4 crops racing.
Newmarket Day was indeed a special one for Colin Hayes. The Wizard of Lindsay Park collected Group 1s in Melbourne and Sydney. Toast of the Rose Hill Group 1, the Orlando Wines Classic, was Strawberry Fair.
As they come to the 200 mark, Alinda is the leader. Alinda's in front. On the outside, Even True, Strawberry Fair. Now Glory Girl is joining in. It's a big go. Strawberry Fair hit the lead. Glory Girl on the outside trying to pick her up. Strawberry Fair's in front. Glory Girl won't run her down, and Strawberry Fair wins the Orlando.
A $280,000 yearling in New Zealand, Strawberry Fair is from the Group 2 Expressway winner Avellino, a daughter.
12 months earlier, the Rawson Stakes saw Meyercard upset Our Waverley Star and an off-colour Bone Crusher. This time, with the racer's name changed to the Sedgenho Stakes, Meyercard is one of the older horses who must concede weight to Bozam.
Meyercard on the outside of Bozam as they near the turn, and then Rajamar, Hunter, the Brotherhood and Drouters last as they come to the corner where Imprimatur again got away from Wong. Imprimatur led by 2 lengths on Wong, Bonomi third, then Ostensible and Colour Page followed by Bozam, who's about to get into the clear, and further out is Meyercard as they straighten up 300 metres out, and Imprimatur is tackled by Wong. They're clear of Bonomi. Bozam is winding up now, and here he comes, Bozam. Bozam has raced up on the outside to hit the front, and you can put away the glasses. It's all Bozam. He's streaking away in the last bit, and he's going to win by a very big margin. It's a canter for Bozam. Bonomi
wins by Strawberry Fair and Ma Wong at Rose Hill 2 days earlier. Tennessee Vane completed a big weekend out for progeny of Whiskey Road in the CUNY.
They're at the 400 metres. It's Iolani Bay being challenged now by Impacera. Sister Shirley looking for the way out. Tennessee Vane about to stake her claim, joining the leaders now from Bianco Flyer, and in behind them is Fire Twig and Tajara, nowhere to go, but Tennessee Vane sweeps to the front, racing away. Bianco Flyer in the second placing, and then Sound Gold. Tennessee Vane just in the lead, going home and won it.
Soon after his 2 homeland wins, Bone Crusher arrived in Melbourne in a blaze of publicity to take on Vo Rogue. While waiting for Bone Crusher, Vo Rogue was tearing course records apart in an unprecedented rampage. Bone Crusher's magic and monumental clashes with Our Waverley Star in the Cox Plate and at Tallaght in the Australian Cup the previous season saw Australians respond to the bicentenary Australian Cup like no other horse race.
At the halfway mark, coming to the 1,000, and Vo Rogue giving them plenty to chase. He's about 7 lengths in front over Orthel on the outside of Bone Crusher. 3 lengths to Bahrain, a length to Island Spy. The pace has been very solid. Then Cossack Warrior and King of Brooklyn is back at the rear with Dandy Andy. 800 from the judge. Vo Rogue sailing along in front. Orthel and Bone Crusher have to go up and try to bridge the gap now. 2 lengths then to Bahrain, about 4 lengths lengths to Ireland Spy, then Cossack Warrior, Dandy Andy, and last of all is King of Brooklyn. Vo Rogue comes around the turn into the straight, leading with an advantage here of about 4 lengths. There goes Bahrain up on the outside of Orthel, and Bone Crusher the rails well clear of Dandy Andy. Vo Rogue, small, pulls the whip. He's waving it at him with 300 to go. The local hero, Vo Rogue, with a big advantage. Bone Crusher is struggling. Dandy Andy runs into second placing from Bone Crusher, and then Bahrain. Vo Rogue stopping, and Dandy Andy's coming hard. Thompson, this is going to be a boil over. Dandy Andy's going to beat Vo Rogue. Dandy Andy, Brent Thompson beat Vo Rogue. Bone Crusher's run third.
The modern-day Big Red was there again, pitted against the front-running emerging cult hero, Vo Rogue. But in one of the greatest upsets in Australian turf history, a 125-to-1 bolter produced the run of his life.
300 to go. They're not going to get this superstar. Vo Rogue's about 8 lengths in front of Dandy Andy. Bone Crusher can't get to him at Bahrain. At the distance, Dandy Andy's running on. Vo Rogue's 4 in front. Dandy Andy's getting to him. Vo Rogue's 2 in front. Dandy Andy's flying. He will get him. He's a boil over in the cup. Dandy Andy and Brent Thompson's got up to beat Vo Rogue. Third Bone Crusher.
Before the corner, I could see that Bone Crusher wasn't going to be any threat in the finish at all, and I quite honestly just thought at least I'm going to run second here. That was on the turn, and as I said about the furlong or the clock, I just felt that my eyes were still going home, and I really did think I was going to win the race.
But here was one of the greatest and most indestructible characters of the turf, Jim Sirkey, and his pride and joy. Jim had waited for 76 years for his big moment. It was hard to be disappointed when you saw them in the winner's circle. As he said later, I was hoping. And while you're hoping, you've got a chance.
The courageous Vo Rogue was rested until the spring. But Diller would retrieve his reputation in the $500,000 Alistair Clark Stakes at Moonee Valley, the race that saw Vo Rogue break the course record 12 months earlier when it was first restricted to 3-year-olds. The Moonee Valley Racing Club's bold experiment has certainly worked.
With 600 to go, Flotilla in front, Hall starting to ride it now, 3 parts of a length, Spacecraft getting up on the fence, and Impazera. Ligon Arms is struggling, and Capstad's gone, and then Mr. Dynamite, but Flotilla's beaten them off. 300 to go, he's kicked a length and a half clear of Impazera, the filly, Spacecraft, and then came at the head of the others, Ligon Arms, Mr. Dynamite. Hall went for the whip, and immediately the leader, Flotilla, found another length. Flotilla moved out 2 lengths to Impazera, Mr. Dynamite, and Flotilla's running for the roses. Flotilla down to the line, leads all the way, wins by 3. Mr. Dynamite second, and Neckaway Impazera third.
Jack Denham resisted the temptation to take on Beau Zem in Sydney and put Flotilla away for next spring. Into the William Inglis-sponsored Rose Hill Guineas, Sky Chase was starting to look like something of a bridesmaid.
They turn for home where High Regard just led. Hunter's the first to pounce, though. Hunter going after High Regard, 2 lengths or more to Sky Chase, starting to wind up now, and Sky Chase is coming out after them. Brixton Town running on gamely near the inside. High Regard headed by Hunter. Here comes Sky Chase. Sky Chase coming after Hunter and High Regard. Brixton Town on the inside is battling on doggedly. Sky Chase hit the lead 100 out, and it's the real Sky Chase today as he starts to draw away, relishing the soft ground. And
the Guineas gave Sky Chase a somewhat belated Group 1 win at 3, to go with his AJC Champagne Stakes win the previous autumn. He is the second foal from a maiden half-sister to Vice Regal. Starway also sired the second-placed Brixton Town.
Such a superb race of it with Vo Rogue in the Futurity is the subject of our next special section of replays. The first is the George Ryder Stakes at Rose Hill.
Wong's first into the straight in the George Ryder, led by more than a length to New Atlantis. Campaign King is about 5 horses out from the rail. Now Pop the Question by Marshall, and then Prince Anton, Tierra Wrist as they come to the 250 where Wong is going strongly. The baldy face of Campaign King is looming into second place now, and he's coming out after the leader. Wong's in front, he's pulled the whip on it as Campaign King charges at him now. Wong still in front, Campaign King has grabbed him, however. Star Sunrise running home strongly, but Campaign King is drawing away to win 2 George Riders on the trot.
In deciding the Ansett, of Vitalik stayed home for the Vobis VRC Sires Produce Stakes, which clashed with the Golden Slipper.
As they straighten up, Lord Melbourne back second last. Vitalik pulled to the extreme outside. They're homeward bound, 400 metres to go. Kingston Heritage heads off. Good Time Dancer. Rockets trying to get a crack at them, held up for a run. Wonder Dancer called on for his effort, responding. Acid Test making a bid and Glowing Tribute, and Vitalik out wider. They're inside the 100. Here comes Vitalik after Wonder Dancer with Glowing Tribute. It's Wonder Dancer in front. Vitalik won't get there. Tommy Smith again. Wonder Dancer.
Wonder Dancer gave Northern Dancer horse Danzatore a first crop Group 1 winner. Tommy Smith missed seeing the sires as his presence was...
Angus Armanasco allowed Tennessee Vane to treat Sydney racegoers to her ability on Slipper Day. But what's the run of Savannah City?
The Bolter Sensation is in front, turning for home, tackled now by Savannah City, getting up on the inside of it. Further out, Constant Star, followed by the Cloisters, and then Judy Ann. Savannah City burst to the lead at the 200 mark. She's going strongly now. Tennessee Vane coming out of the ruck, and Constant Star is getting its second wind, and further out, Judy Ann. Tennessee Vane is coming at Savannah City. Tennessee Vane doing best. By golly, she's a great little filly, Tennessee Vane.
A popular renaming by the Australian...
As his presence was required at the Golden Slipper as trainer and part owner of Star Watch.
Off and running in the slipper of 88, and Pleasant Moment and Scalata both a little bit slow to move at the start. Scarlet Biss began brilliantly, and she's the early leader over Startling Lass. Star Watch on the extreme outside began quickly. Iga Ninja in a good spot, so is Comely Girl, followed closely by Dalkari. Then Regional Star trapped out very deep with Molokai Prince and Zedate 4 and 5 wide as they come through the gap onto the course proper. Further back, Scalata, followed by Full and By, and then Research Temple front. Nanyatara well back with Pleasant Moment and Astrologist at the tail of the field. Iga Ninja just led Startling Lass at the 600 mark, a length and a half to Scarlet Bisque on the outside of Dalkari, a length and a half to Star Watch, who's out deep on the outside of Comely Girl, followed by Scalata, and then Zedate as they near the turn, and coming right around the outside of the field is Temple front, who's pushed very wide on the corner. Into the straight, Iga Ninja led over Startling Lass, Scalata on the rail, and then Dalkari, Scarlet Bisque, followed by Star Watch, Comely Girl behind a wall of horses, and Zedate out into the clear now, starting to come home hard. Startling Lass took the lead. Here comes Star Watch. Star Watch is coming at Startling Lass. Comely Girl late on the scene. Star Watch headed Startling Lass close to home. Comely Girl won't pick them up, and Star Watch has won the slipper.
The $1 million first prize for the 30-second slipper enabled Star Watch to become Australasia's first juvenile millionaire. He is the first Golden Slipper winner for 3 times Australian champion sire Bletchingley, who had displaced Vane as the all-time leading Australian-based sire 4 months earlier. His post-slipper earnings, $8.9 million. Bred by Graham Mapp at his Hobartville stud at Windsor just outside Sydney, Star Watch is a 7th live foal of Light of Peace, Dam of Apollo's Flame. Chicken Kings Jack and Bob Ingham bought a quarter interest in Star Watch several weeks before the race to secure him for their Woodland stud.
Held by an attendant, they're off and running in the Tancred International. They came out in a nice even line.
Beauxam's next mission was the Tancred Stakes, this year boasting international entries for the first time. They were headed by La Gloria, a group winner on 3 continents in 1987 under the tutelage of Robert Collet, including the Washington International and the Japan Cup at Group 1 level. Now, just prior to his US success, he ran second in the Man o' War Stakes to Theatrical, subsequent winner of the Breeders' Cup Turf. He was supported by Vaguely Pleasant, the Patrick Bianconi trained entry, and Highland Chieftain from the John Dunlop yard.
The straight followed by Colour Page, Cosmic Kingdom, Dandy Andy. Second last is Highland Chieftain, and Grosvenor Square as last. As the 1200 out, the pace is solid now, and Bonomi by 4 lengths on Maya Card, a neck away on the inside, Vaguely Pleasant, then Beauxam on the inside of Colour Page, followed by Grosvenor Square moving forward. Cosmic Kingdom is next, and then Highland Chieftain, La Gloria, and dropping out 2 lengths last is Dandy Andy at the 900 mark, and Bonomi is the leader. 2.5 lengths on Maya Card, who's travelled beautifully from the outset, followed by Vaguely Pleasant. Beauxam is 1 off the rail now. Colour Page is 3 deep as they come down the side, and then Grosvenor Square, Highland Chieftain, La Gloria. Cosmic Kingdom is last of the main bunch, and tailed off is Dandy Andy as they near the turn. 700 metres out, and on the outside, Maya Card has rushed up to head Bonomi. Maya Card takes the lead as they come to the turn. Beauxam is in hot pursuit, however, and then Colour Page, Grosvenor Square very wide on the home turn, followed by Vaguely Pleasant, and then Highland Chieftain and La Gloria with Dandy Andy on the extreme outside. A great race in the straight. Bozam sprinted to the lead over Vaguely Pleasant. Maya Card the first beaten. Highland Chieftain is running a bit of a race, followed by Grosvenor Square and La Gloria. But here's that acceleration, that famous acceleration as Bozam leaves them standing. Bozam is racing away 100 metres out, and he's going to win the Tancred International in a canter. What a performance by Bozam. He's won by 6 lengths.
Bozam's superiority was complete, and he was then out to win the Derby that had eluded him in the spring. It is 7 days after the Tancred, and we're at Randwick. The race is Australia's foremost classic, the AJC Derby.
As they turn for home, over the rise, and Hunter on the outside, headed Might, but here comes Bozam. Bozam on the outside has just cruised up to them as they top the rise. He went past them in a single stride, and Bozam left them standing. Look at that acceleration once again as he races 4, 5 in front. Brixton Town wide out is running home hard. He's going to get second, but Bozam wins the Derby with the head on the chest.
As Australia's first $2 million winner, Bozam is another remarkable chapter in the success story of Dulcie, foundation mare of Cambridge sheep farming family, the Stewarts. Dulcie
Australian Jockey Club was that of the traditional Oaks lead-up, the Princess Stakes, to the Adrian Knox Stakes, after the man who was AJC chairman from 1907 to 1919. The new Adrian Knox Stakes was fought out by 2 subsequent Oaks winners from the Brian Mayfield Smith Nebo Lodge.
Over the rise, Lady Liberty headed off to Jarrah, and they're well clear of Miss Spice, followed by Palace Revolt, and then My Kind of Girl and Bravery. But Lady Liberty gave them the go-by and shot well clear at the 200 mark. Palace Revolt in second place, followed by My Kind of Girl. Bravery getting warmed up when it's all over, but Lady Liberty well clear. She's getting tired. Palace Revolt, and look at Bravery absolutely rocketing down the outside, but too late.
Now they're set for the AJC Doncaster is generally a puzzle, and with the Randwick track affected by rain, the 1988 edition made Rubik's Cube look easy.
Wong is a mile in front on the turn, led by about 5 lengths on Prince Anton. High Regard in third place, and then Swift Cheval, followed by Targlish. Balciano at the head of the others. Sound Horizon starting to thread his way through the field, and Sky Chase has pulled to the extreme outside and is putting in a big run as they top the rise. Wong is about to be tackled by Prince Anton. Sky Chase down the extreme outside, and Balciano coming through in the centre. Sky Chase on the extreme outside took the lead. Look at Lygon Arms. Lygon Arms coming from second last, and Sound Horizon has burst through in the centre, but Lygon Arms wins the Doncaster.
Lygon Arms, who is a Bletchingley half-brother to Brewery Boy, now at stud in Ireland, had almost caused a major upset 12 months earlier, when the closest of seconds to marauding in the Golden Slipper.
A smaller...
On the fence, Prince Regent as they come to the turn from Temple Front, Siberian Express and Research, and Brooklyn Dodger dropped out to be last as they turn for home in the sires. Now they're starting to head out towards the middle of the track. Wonder Dancer just led Molokai Prince and Silver Stardom. Behind those, Comely Girl popped the question by Dittman, followed by Full and By as they top the rise where Wonder Dancer led, but Comely Girl has picked him up very quickly. Comely Girl on the outside has raced to the lead at the 200 mark. Full and By about to get into second place is running on Gamely, but the filly Comely Girl wide out on the track is starting to draw clear close to home. She's a bonny filly, and this long striding filly draws away to win the sires, easing up Comely Girl.
Comely Girl ploughed through the mud best to make it 4 out of 5 and supply her sire Masqué with his first Group 1 winner, a daughter of Todman.
Before Snippets headed off to join Rubiton at Transmedia Park, yes, Mike Willesee bought into Snippets too, Lunchtime's best son had a score to settle with Special in the Galaxy.
Snippets led by about 4 lengths on Special, and Mother Duck followed by Isoma starting to wind up now. He's going to come home with a rush, Isoma. On top of the rise, and the leader is Snippets. Cook hasn't gone for him yet. Isoma getting into second place, but Snippets is going strongly halfway down the straight. Isoma making no headway, and it's all Snippets. Snippets is careering away. He's going to win the Galaxy in great style. Snippets has won by 6 lengths to Isoma.
Snippets' Galaxy Gallop saw him join the Millionaires Club, and he goes to stud with 3 Group 1s under his belt, having captured the AJC sires the previous Easter Monday.
The world's leading owner in 1987 also found Group 1 success down under. Orthal, Europe's most expensive yearling, was sent to Colin Hayes in the hope that the horseman could duplicate the Group 1 success he achieved with At Talak for Hamdan El Maktoum.
Six off the fence is joined by Ostensible. Orthal on the outside is coming after the pair of them as they top the rise, and they're well clear of Algonquin Club on top of the hill, and Orthal and Ostensible have come away. They're fighting it out. Orthal and Ostensible are having a ding-dong go. They got pretty close together there. Orthal is just in front. Ostensible won't give up. He's fighting back, and Algonquin Club late on the scene. Orthal and Ostensible are fighting it out. Algonquin Club trying to pick them up as they come to the line. It's a ding-dong go, I think, Orthal.
Orthal, a son of Shergar, added a second Group 1 to his 1986 Irish St Leger success, taking out the Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
The AJCX.
Wide into the straight, and Judy Ann has raced up to take the lead as they turn for home. Judy Ann out of the middle of the track, led over the rise. Tennessee Vane is coming at it quickly though. Tennessee Vane is coming after Judy Ann. Lady Liberty running a bit of a race, followed by It's Candide and Savannah City. Tennessee Vane allowed to drift right out off the track. Inside the 200 appears to be still in front. Now Savannah City has burst through on its inside. Savannah City has cleared out, getting close to home. The New Zealand filly, Savannah City, and Savannah City draws away to win the Oaks.
After so many major race placings, Savannah City's big occasion came about with considerable help from Peter Cook. Bred by Blandford Park Stud, she is the first classic winner by their vice-regent stallion, New Regent.
But more select field contested the all-age stakes 7 days later. Campaign King, having bypassed the Doncaster, was expected to win, despite the heavy track.
Into the straight now, they're all out to the centre of the track, and the big white blaze of Campaign King shows out in front on the turn over Bianco Flyer. Rajamar in third place, and then Tierra Rest, followed by Sound Horizon as they come over the rise. Campaign King is in front about a half length on Bianco Flyer. 2 lengths away, Sound Horizon on the outside, coming home hard now. On top of the rise, Campaign King the leader, but Sound Horizon's going to make a race of it. Sound Horizon coming at Campaign King. They've got it between them. Sound Horizon takes the lead. Campaign King can't find any more, and Sound Horizon is drawing away. And there's a surprise in the all-age stakes. Sound Horizon, runner-up in the Doncaster, wins the...
Sound Horizon is one of 4 winners from the US-placed New Horizon, a half-sister to New Zealand Oaks winner, Devont.
Arnie Lodge machine of Bart Cummings and John Marshall was hot during the Sydney Autumn Carnival and looked set to add yet another cup with Queensland Oaks winner Round the World.
Round the World, and our Rationale straighten up in front. Banderol looming into third place now. And then Copper Tonic followed by Might and Semstar, but Banderol has raced to the lead. Banderol shot to the lead on top of the rise. Round the World not done with yet though. On the outside, Round the World won't give up. She again is coming at Banderol, and she's going to make a race of it. Round the World and Banderol are fighting out a terrific struggle. Round the World, after being headed again, gets to the lead. Now it's Banderol kicking again. What a finish in the cup. Banderol, Round the World, Banderol.
English-born and retired American banker Jeff Hughes achieved his biggest win as an owner with Banderol. Hughes is also a hobby breeder of Preakness winner Aloma's Ruler, but he...
Followed by Temple Front, getting up on the inside, and then Blue Pulse, Carpahula, Adopt, and Carlos is last, but the field is packing up as they come to the 600 mark, and Rising Strike the leader. Paris Weekend is moving closer, followed by Nanyatara. Full and By has to go 4 and 5 deep on the home turn, and Comely Girl is parked on the fence waiting for a run, and then Research and Blue Pulse, but over the rise, Rising Strike joined by Paris Weekend. Nanyatara joining in with Full and By, and Comely Girl blocked for a run. She can't get a crack at them. Paris Weekend hit the lead at the 200 over Nanyatara, Full and By, and Comely Girl is trying to squeeze through a narrow gap in the centre. Paris Weekend in front, Full and By grabbing it now. Full and By on the outside, and Paris Weekend, they hit the line, and Full and By got there.
Full on By survived a protest by Comely Girl's rider Mick Dittman. He is the 4th foal from a winning daughter of AJC Flight Stakes winner Better Comment. The final race against his own age was in the AJC St Leger, and at 16 to 1 on, the bank tellers again didn't have any worries.
But Bozam has coasted to him on the outside, and Bozam shot to the lead on top of the rise with $2 million staring him in the face. Bozam left them standing. He's raced away 4 or 5 in front of Palace Revolt and Zama Kima, but in excess of $2 million now. Bozam, the history maker, he's raced 6 or 7, 8 lengths in front of Palace Revolt, and a lot more prize money coming up in the spring with the Cox Plate and possibly the Japan Cup. He won by 10 lengths, Bozam.
We'll save Bo. The next stop is in Perth, where the Western Australian Derby has been moved from November to April.
The Bookra leads into the straight in the Derby, kicked away by 3 lengths into the bend. Ovus on the outside, finishing well, Sondakine, Pagazam, and they were being followed in behind them, Lardering, Embassy Jazz, and Wild Rule Centurion, but 100 to go, and the Bookra well clear, led by 4 lengths from Madam Peppermint. She's got style getting out now, and on the inside is Pearl Island. The Bookra stopping, Madam Peppermint is flying with the Bookra.
The Bookra, who had gone under by only a neck to all ashore in the Channel 9 Australian Derby, was a worthy winner, leading every step of the way.
Set Horse of the Year, the racing writers of Australia faced a dilemma, as first Rubiton, then Vo Rogue, and later Bozam dominated centre stage. Just in case the voters thought they had it worked out, along came Campaign King with a late charge.
In the straight, 300 metres to go. Snippets the leader, tackled now by Rancho Ruler. Rancho Ruler coming after Snippets. Rancho Ruler grabbed the lead from Snippets. Campaign King coming out after Rancho Ruler. Rancho Ruler a length in front of Campaign King and Snippets. Rancho Ruler in front. Campaign King is running him down. Rancho Ruler and Campaign King. It's going to be tight. They hit it. Campaign King got up and beat Rancho Ruler.
Green and white quarters with yellow sleeves and cap. His name, Lord Highbrow.
They're packing as they run to the home turn. 400 metres to go. Hot on Aces straightens up a half length in front. Lord Highbrow popped the big question. He's after them quickly on the outside. He's tackling Hot on Aces. Bonhomie's gone. King of Brooklyn's got the split in the middle. Rajamar to the outside with Card Shark, but Lord Highbrow, he raced away from them. 200 metres to go. He looks as though he's got a winning break. He's 3 lengths in front. Lord Highbrow. Algonquin Club is coming from the clouds on the outside, but Lord Highbrow is clear, close to the wire, and Lord Highbrow scores easily.
2 days before, Karpstad had returned to top form back in Adelaide, leading up to the Mercedes-Benz South Australian Derby, with wins against the older horses in the Birthday Cup and Rain Lover Plate, both Group 3 races. This is how he fared in the Derby.
Apollo Run looking for the run, further back in the field, then out wide a Celtic Spirit. Century Judge, Grosvenor Square couldn't win for mine, and down the outside, Terrific. Karpstad's gone to the front in the Derby. Apollo Run's the danger on the outside. They're clear of further out on the track, Celtic Spirit. Karpstad in front, trying hard, Apollo Run. On the outside, Celtic Spirit, they bump. So in the centre, Apollo Run. Karpstad, Celtic Spirit, oh, what a go!
Celtic Spirit is bred on the famed Nasrallah Prince Quillo cross by the consistent winner source £1 sterling from a daughter of Prince Quillo horse Bourbon Prince.
Vo Rogue was rested until the spring, but Bone Crusher was back to take on the all-conquering Bozam before the Queen in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes on a rather grey Canberra Sunday.
As they race up towards the turn, 500 metres out, and the leader Manitate, Bone Crusher moving up on the outside. Bozam moves to third, followed by Dandy Andy, Dungarvey and Wexford Castle. Bone Crusher race to the lead, 300 to go. Bozam is going out after Bone Crusher, and running on well, Dandy Andy, racing down the 200 metre mark. It's Bone Crusher the leader, Bozam is trying hard, they draw clear. Bone Crusher in front, Bozam on the outside is trying hard. Bone Crusher, Bozam, they go to the line, Bozam just got up the lead, Bone Crusher.
Bozam was the victor, but Bone Crusher was also the hero. The duo that have won $4 million between them gave their Royal Command performance to provide racing fit for a queen.
Noble Bijou has sired 37 stakes winners, including AJC Oaks winner Al Sophia, 1,000 Guineas winner Powley, Alibi, Prince Majestic, LA Bijou and Mr. Lamondi. But none achieved their status with this sort of ease.
On the turn, Antissa Season joined now by Lady Liberty. They're clear of down the outside Voltage, further back Palace Revolt, wider out Fire Twig, and out deeper on the track Voodoo Blues closer to the rails, then Faithful Thought and Embassy Jazz, but our Lady Liberty, she's careered away, she dashed 5 or 6 in front, she kills them. Lady Liberty, a very easy win in the South Australian Oaks.
Lady Liberty thoroughly deserved her success. Like South Australian Oaks and Derby winners Marmalita and Shark's Fin, Lady Liberty...
We're Adelaide bound now to witness Daring John's attempt to win back-to-back Goodwood handicaps.
Outside, and then Torello closer to the rails, 200 out. Taj Quillo, Confucius Flyer, and down the outside, coming at them, Cameronic. Out wide or even True Lord Scotia. Cameronic's gone to the front, running home strongly on the outside now, Daring John, but Cameronic in front, and Cameronic wins.
Cameronic gave owner Merv Brown and talented trainer John Hawkes their second Goodwood within 3 years. Lord Galaxy, who finished 12th, was their 1986 winner. Hawkes will be a welcome addition to Melbourne training ranks this season from his new base at Epsom.
We've seen Lord Reims win the Caulfield Cup. This is how he chased his second straight West End Adelaide Cup.
Still there, right
Rising Fear feeling the pinch, and Lord Reams is about to pounce. Back in behind those then came on the rail, trying to get up on the inside Fayette County. Enchanteur struggling a bit, then Fox Hill winding up, but on the swing, and the leader Superior Way, but Lord Reams grabbed him in a twinkling. Lord Reams bounced on the lead at the 400-metre mark and took over. Got a half in front of Superior Way. Fox Hill, the old fellow's coming home. And then further back on the outside, Sasha Bijou in Argonaut style. But Lord Reams has speared away with 200 to go. He's well clear of old Fox Hill, who's going to run a big race again over the 2 miles. But Lord Reams, the best bet of the day, is going to bolt in. Lord Reams, he'll win by 6 lengths. Fox Hill will get second. The Bonnie Rostov mare Saratov got third.
When Lord Reams won his first Adelaide Cup, the star was New Zealand jockey Murray Linden. But this time, he shared centre stage with no one.
Later, Brian Mayfield Smith and Jim Cassidy were at it again as the aptly named Bravery duelled with an equally brave Judy Ann.
In the straight now, 400 metres to go. Judy Ann takes the lead. Here comes Bravery with a big run, and Ironic Lady is going with her. 3 of them stretched across the track, 300 metres out. Bravery now, she shoots to the lead on the outside. She's in front of Judy Ann and Ironic Lady. They're clear of Tajara English Garden. Bravery, she's drifting out to the middle of the track, but she's in front. Cassidy content to ride her hands and heels. Now he pulls the whip on her. Judy Ann's boxing on gamely, but Bravery's too strong, and it's the Oaks to Bravery.
Many Queensland Derby preparations were disrupted when most of the first day of the QTC's Winter Carnival was abandoned. Meanwhile, Bravery and Judy Ann resumed hostilities.
Impresetto right around the field with a big run. English Garden coming into it as well. Plenty of chances, 400 metres out, and Judy Ann swept up on the outside and hit the lead. But here comes Bravery. Bravery's after Judy Ann, 300 metres out. Bravery dashed up on the outside of Judy Ann. She's not going to give in, Judy Ann. Judy Ann and Bravery, they're locked together. Impresetto is a length away third, trying hard. Bravery grabbed the lead. She's just in front. Cassidy throwing everything at her. Judy Ann's battling on with Impresetto, but Bravery, she's going to win the Oaks Derby double.
Bravery was the third filly to win the Queensland Derby in the past 4 years. But her win was more easily anticipated than that of Tristina or Princess Gracious. A few days before the Derby, Mike Willesee bought a half interest in Bravery.
The QTC handicapper came under fire for giving Campaign King only 58.5 kilos in the Elders at Eagle Farm, as the 4-year-old millionaire chased his 4th Group 1 win of the season.
Our Poetic Prince is just in front of him. They flatten for the run in, 400 metres out. York Pops in the big question. There's one down. Rendu's fallen. Planet Ruler hit the lead, 300 metres out. Foamy Ocean after him, and here comes Campaign King right down the outside. Our Poetic Prince is flashing home as well. York's gone for the whip on Planet Ruler. The King's got him. Campaign King dashed up on the outside, took the lead from Planet Ruler, and Campaign King, one of the greatest horses we've ever seen. He's racing away to score easily. What a win!
Campaign King has given us many magic moments, but surely none better than win number 22. It was significant that Bart Cummings didn't win a major cup in this racing year, but still achieved 11 Group 1 wins for the season. Led by Bozam and Campaign King, the stable amassed more than $6 million in prize money. And quiet achiever John Marshall, the pilot for most of those Group 1s, picked up his first Sydney Jockeys Premiership.
QTC Sires was included in the abandoned part of the Brisbane Club's first day of their winter carnival. The result was that many horses missed vital lead-ups to feature races further into the carnival. Many runners in the Channel 9 Stakes, formerly the Castlemaine, were affected by the abandonment. But Zeditev proved his fitness by winning just 2 days earlier.
Yarra Bay is a long way back as they come around the home turn, 400 metres out. McGetty's Crown taken on by Paris Weekend and Zeditev. Hall's pulled into the outside. He's popped the big question. There's one down. Datum Point has fallen. Datum Point down at the 250. Zeditev dashed up and hit the lead. Here comes the bolter. Aces and Kings. Aces and Kings is flying on the outside. He's after Zeditev. Hall pulls a whip on Zeditev. He's fighting on Zeditev. He's a real champ. Aces and Kings can't get him. Zeditev goes away from him again at the end.
As with Flotilla 12 months earlier, the Channel 9 Stakes made Zeditev the only dual Group 1 winning 2-year-old of his year. And like Flotilla, he won with top weight, conceding from 2.5 to 7.5 kilograms to his 17 rivals.
Let's now Cup. Lord Highbrow won the O'Shea Stakes. This is how he won the Cup.
They come around the home turn, 400 metres out. Super Seal straightens up a length in front of Finesse Bell. She's popped the big question. She's joining in quickly on the outside, and here comes Lord Highbrow. Look at him go. As he snuck a look over the shoulder, Moses. He's a length in front of Finesse Bell. Round the world, struggling to go with Lord Highbrow. He hasn't released the brakes on Lord Highbrow as yet, and he bolted away from them, and he's killing them in the Cup. It's Lord Highbrow racing right on with the job. Procura Boy's going to get second. Round the World will be third.
We've already mentioned the late Ralph Stewart's fabulous matron Dulcie and her amazing dynasty, which includes Bozam. But her influence on the Brisbane Cup is extraordinary. Dulcie is the dam of 1967 winner Fullman and Balmerino, who won in 1976, before finding wider fame in Europe. Lord Highbrow is the third group winner from her daughter Micheline, also dam of 1977 Australian Horse of the Year, Surround. Raced by Ralph Stewart's son Colin, who bred Bozam, Lord Highbrow has blossomed into a high-class stayer with strong Melbourne Cup claims.
Another this year. And I've found another Classics hope for you. His name is Outgun. Look at this clip of him winning a minor race. In fact, it was a winter 2-year-old at Randwick. The colours to watch for are black with a yellow sash, armbands and cap. Outgun had been unlucky at his second start when 5th at the same track, but there was no stopping him this time.
But on the corner now, and Devil's Ride led over Mountain Boy and Kilmore, followed by Outgun, who's waiting for a split, and further out Gold Mace as they top the rise, where Devil's Ride is tackled by Kilmore. Now Outgun has switched to the outside of them and is going after them. Kilmore led at the 200, but Outgun's got him covered. Outgun has rushed up to head Kilmore. Whiff is getting through near the fence and running home well, but it's all Outgun. He's stretching out like a good horse in the last bit, and he's racing away, and he's going to trot in. Outgun by 4 lengths to Whiff.
I know the opposition wasn't strong, but he looks the goods. He's a gelded son of Grosvenor from an unraised daughter of Light Fingers called Nimble Fingers, and he's trained by Tommy Smith.
As a racing year, I think 1987-88 had it all. And the good news is that while Rubiton and Snippets are off to stud, most of the major players will be back on deck in the forthcoming season. But as everybody connected with the thoroughbred racing industry knows, Bill Collins, the accurate one, retired from his long-held position as Australia's #1 race caller after the Melbourne Autumn Carnival. While Bill will still be active in many areas of the industry, including this Australasian Racing Year video, we won't have the thrill of hearing his race descriptions.
Step closer to being